From the Wrap. Heavens, look at this. CNN's Clarissa Ward frees Syrian prisoner left to die in windowless cell. Video. Moving footage shows Syrian civilian emerging to the light for the first time in 3 months. Now, anyone who's got, I don't know, like a third grade education is immediately going to say, hold on a minute. He was emerging to the light for the first time in 3 months and he's staring at the sky. Is he blind? How many of you, honest question, Mike, are you married?
I'm not.
You're not married. Have you, have family members or whatever, you stayed over for the holidays and then you're sleeping and it's early in the morning and as you're waking up, they turn the lights on. This has happened to you, I imagine.
And you're just like, what the hell is...
And you're like, oh, what are you doing? You turn the lights off. Man, oh, God, you know. I'm sure that's happened to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I always say, like, when I'm waking up, I'll say, Allison, is it okay if I turn the lights on? And she'll go, yeah, you're good. I'll say, okay. And then, or if she's going to do it, I'll put the pillow over my face and then slowly, because it hurts.
This is why when I wake my kid up for school in the morning, I turn the lights on with no warning to just get him out of bed in a hurry.
Long story short, everybody is saying this video is clearly fake because this guy who was supposedly malnourished, didn't have any food or water for 5 days, and was in a cell with no windows for 3 months, stands up of his own volition, walks outside and looks at the sky and goes, the light. Dude, all you have to do is ask any physician or Google it. After a couple of weeks of darkness, the amount of time it takes you to come back into the light, it is exponential. So I did investigate and I looked up at various sites and it said prolonged exposure to a lack of light over a prolonged period of time. It can take an individual 2 to 7 days to be able to open their eyes outside after being kept in the dark as long as they did. More importantly, the video's nuts. Let me see if we can pull up the video. Oh, did they take it down? Oh, that's interesting. The video's gone. That can't be right. There it is. Okay, because I was going to say, like, that's pretty wild.
Our world leaders, Syria's new rebel leaders say they will not pardon Assad regime officials who tortured and killed prisoners during the decades of his brutal reign. CNN's Clarissa Ward went to a Syrian prison to find someone still locked in a cell with no idea that Assad's regime had fallen.
Deep in the belly of the regime's Air Force intelligence headquarters,
these are English letters.
We are hoping to find traces of Austin Tice, an American journalist held captive in Syria since 2012. It's one of many secret prisons across the city. This specific branch was tasked with surveillance, arrest, and killing of all regime critics.
These are all cleaned out.
We don't find any hints of Tice, but come across something extraordinary.
I can't tell though, it might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked. Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
Why?
Yeah, that's weird. Why?
Yeah, I don't know, but let's play more.
We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if
Notice there's no toilet in there.
there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? I thought I saw it move. Is someone there?
I just like to point out the absurdity of an American journalist, I believe she's American, yelling in English at a Syrian prisoner.
It's also weird sending a woman in.
Yeah.
Well, she's got guards
in
and
Syria,
stuff.
like still.
That's true.
Weird.
But I've traveled all over the world and covered news in many countries, and I would never yell in English at someone who didn't speak it. And I actually did trainings on this because there was a circumstance where I was in Turkey and a guy held a Molotov cocktail up to my face and my producer's face screaming in Turkish. And I just held my hands up and I very calmly turned around and started moving while the other guy was just frantically ranting, saying, it's fine, dude, you're good, you're good. And I had to explain to him, and I've done trainings on this where I say, listen, if there's someone who doesn't speak English and they're yelling at you in a foreign language and you start panicking, do you understand what you sound like? You are sounding, they don't know if you're screaming, I'm going to kill you or what you may be saying. Just shut up. So let's play a little bit more.
Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
I think it's someone. Hello?
Okay.
So there's a blanket on the ground and a guard comes up, or I don't know, a rebel fighter. And he opens the blanket and there emerges a man.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
He stands right up with ease.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months. Okay,
Really? Look at that beard. What happens if you don't shave for 3 months? Certainly not that, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's just stop wasting time. His fingernails are well trimmed. Maybe not perfectly, but his fingernails are cut. Someone in a prison for 3 months is going to have a long beard and long fingernails, unless they've been coming in and treating him. They also go on to say he asks for water. He grabs her arm.
Okay,
Water, please. I'm sorry. They claim that he hadn't had food or water in 5 days since the regime fell. Again, do a cursory Google search of what happens after 5 days of no water. You cannot stand up.
Yeah.
You are having seizures. You are on the ground vomiting.
After 5 days, the rule of threes says that you're dead after 3 with no water.
No, you can go about 7 days is the point of death, but you're at day 5. You're in minor organ failure without any water. My favorite comment on the accusations that this was staged: where's the poop? He's been in there for 3 months, and there's no toilet. Okay, fine. In that 3 months, they brought him to the bathroom. Deal. In the past 5 days, as he was there by himself with no water or food, did he just hold it in? I guess maybe. Now, the best part, of course, is when they bring him outside. Here he is walking of his own volition while holding their hands.
Says you are free. This is the 3rd prison they brought me to, he says. The 3rd prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky. My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light.
My immediate response was, after it snows and there's like a couple inches of snow on the ground, I can't even look out my window. It's so bright.
Yeah.
And here's this guy who's been locked up for 3 months in a windowless cell, looking at the sky going, the light, the light. Okay, so I'm sorry. Look, I'm not saying I know for sure that CNN did anything. Maybe they're just so dumb that the Syrian rebels told them it was happening and they went, okay, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and believe that this is not a real Syrian prisoner. He has no beard after 3 months, unless like Assad has been coming in for regular trimmings. You know, the guy hasn't, he can stand. I mean, you know what? Honestly, they freed this guy. I think they should get a DNA sample to figure out how it is. He's so strong after not eating or drinking for 5 days. But I ask you, panel, you think CNN intentionally faked this? Do you think they were duped, or do you think it's real?
Yeah, I would go with duped.
I would also go with duped.
Because
there's also the willfully duped.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely willfully duped. But I think that it's in these rebel/terrorists' best interest to try and make nice with the American media.
Yeah, I think that's right. I do think they were duped and I think that they were very easily duped because they wanted to believe it, because it's something that they could put on the internet and be like, look, this is, this really happened. Blah,
And
blah,
we're
blah.
doing journalism, you guys. Check it out.
I know.
That's a big deal for us these days.
I think that it was willingly duped. They were duped, but it was
Willful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't looking to challenge what they were being told. It was convenient for them to not challenge them and say, "Hey, this might not be true."
Yeah, they just roll with it. I think people don't realize just how often the corporate press stages things. There was a major instance where some protesters, I think it was in like Anaheim, California, were marching through the streets with a flag. I think it was a Mexican flag. And one of the reporters asked a group, it was a reporter from a corporate news outlet, asked the group to huddle together and so we could get a picture of the flag. And everybody was like, yo, someone caught this on film. Where he's like, hey guys, can you come together and like kneel on the ground and stand up and hold the flag and I'll get a photo of it? And then everyone said, that's a staged photograph for the news. Mm. They were not huddling together and holding the flag together. A reporter asked them to do it. That's called staging. But the reporters don't care. They're like, what do you mean? They were here with the flag. It's fine.
The Saddam Hussein statue toppling was staged.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was that?
That was like, what was it? Was it Desert Storm?
No, it was Iraqi freedom.
It was Iraqi freedom, right? It was after 9/11, right? That's when it was, and it wasn't organic that people were pulling down this statue. There were like Americans there being like, "Hey, don't you guys want to pull down that statue? we'll take some pictures of it.
Yeah, they
Oh,
gave him
right,
the
right, right.
chains,
Yeah,
and
yeah. They
and
gave him all the
they used tanks to do it. They used Abrams tanks to
Right,
pull it
that's
down.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, it's not like the people of Iraq were happy with Saddam, and it's not like they weren't, extremely excited about the idea of pulling the statue down.
Right.
But it wasn't the people of Iraq saying to the Americans, "We need to pull this down." It was like,
It was a little different than that.
yeah. So,
The corporate media is fake. What else is new, I guess? This is like the 8th subject we
see-
brought up about them lying. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.